Hi there, it's Dave, the extended fasting fat guy, and the date today is January 5th, 2022. Um, this is my 11th video in my ongoing series chronicling my weight loss journey. If this is the first one of my videos you've seen, just to recap very quickly, basically I started losing weight as of November 1st. I went on a stacked fast routine of doing rotating 60-hour fasts with a 12-hour eating window for the month of November, and I lost 31 pounds. For the month of December 2021, I upped my fast to 88 hours with an 8-hour eating window, and I also did 2 extended fasts. I did one 111 hour fast right before Christmas Eve, and then I did not eat between Christmas Day and New Year's, so I went basically 5.5 days, or about 133 hours without eating. At the end of December, like I said, I had lost 22 pounds, so 53 pounds in total since November 1st. So basically 53 pounds in 2 months, which is good. I have no complaints. I have continued to fast through the month of January. I have been fasting since New Year's Day at 10 p.m. So, and I'm not planning on eating until tomorrow at 1 p.m., which would be January the 6th at 1 p.m. So that will mean that I will have fasted for another 111 hours. Once that fast is complete, I will refeed tomorrow, and then from that point onward, I plan to do 88-hour fasts for the rest of the month of January and reassess where I am from there. So considering today is day 4 of and I'm up around 90 hours into my latest fast, I feel pretty good. I feel a little rough yesterday, but today so far I feel good. I mean, I got a long ways to go before I go to sleep. I probably got another 8 or 9 hours before I go to bed. As I've said before in my other videos, this is the 4th and 5th days are the hard ones, because then you go to bed, and so I'll sleep hopefully 7-8 hours, and then tomorrow I'll get up in the morning. I got to walk my dog and do some other routines, and then it's basically gravy. Like, I don't have a hard time getting from when I get up till lunchtime. That's nothing, and then I can eat, right? So that's great news. I'm very happy about that. So the only challenge at this point now to get through the 111 hours is just to make it from now until bedtime, and then tomorrow I should be fine, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Like I did say, yesterday was a little rough. I was feeling a lot of hunger and cravings, and very weak. So I made some adjustments to my snake juice. I've been doing a modified version of the snake diet. I'm not following it religiously, but I'm kind of following the snake diet in principle, meaning that I am doing extended fasts punctuated by eating days, and I am using the snake juice on the days that I fast to supplement my electrolytes. I've not yet introduced exercise to my routine, and I've also not yet introduced a lot of variation in my diet. I don't think my diet's particularly unhealthy, but it could be a lot better. Obviously, I mean, it's one of those, could be better, could be worse. So I think for the month of January, I'm gonna do a little bit of research and consider making some modifications to my diet. And I was toying around with the idea of getting a gym membership and going to the gym and maybe starting to do some more cardio. I walk about an hour a day, but I kind of might want to ramp that up a little bit. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned in other videos, I live in the Toronto, Canada area, and we just entered another lockdown. So as of yesterday at midnight, gyms have all been shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I also, you can't dine in at restaurants, and there's all sorts of other restrictions. They've limited the number of indoor and outdoor gatherings and everything in an attempt to stem the spread of the coronavirus. How effective that will be, I don't know. I'm not particularly worried about it. I've been vaccinated, double vaccinated, and I'm on the waiting list to get the booster shot. I know that being morbidly obese and being a cancer survivor with a compromised immune system and compromised respiratory system because I am missing the upper lobe of my right lung. If I do catch the virus, I'm at much greater risk of having problems. I've been warned of that by my doctor, but there's not much I can do. I mean, I don't really go anywhere anyways at this point, right? My routine basically consists of walking my dog a couple times a day, and once or twice a week I go out and get some groceries. I would order them in, except for the fact that I'm going to be getting produce, and I'm very picky about the quality of my produce. So I don't want to let somebody else pick out my lettuce and my celery and my tomatoes and stuff like that. I want to do it myself. But aside from that brief excursion into the community, I'm not really all that worried about it. So anyways, as I was saying, I was feeling pretty rough yesterday, and I made some modifications to my snake juice. For those of you unfamiliar with the snake diet or snake juice, it's basically a supplement to help make up for the salts and minerals that you lose during an extended fast. The theory is that when you pee while you're fasting, you pee out all your electrolytes, and if you do not supplement them, you can make yourself very sick if you're doing an extended fast. So what my snake juice recipe consists of is 2 liters of water, and then a teaspoon of potassium chloride, which is a potassium supplement, a half teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt, a half teaspoon of sodium chloride. So those 2 half teaspoons make up for the sodium you lose, and then there was the potassium. For a while I was using cayenne powder as an additional supplement, but I'm not doing that anymore. I found that the taste is horrible. It was upsetting my stomach, and I found other ways to get that into my system without mixing it in with my snake juice. I've just added, I just got on the weekend magnesium sulfate. So the recipe called for me adding half a teaspoon, of magnesium sulfate to the snake juice, which I have, and the results were mixed. It made me feel good. Like it really picked me up. My energy went way up after I drank the snake juice. However, within about an hour, I had to pee. Began a process of having to pee for the next couple of hours, and it also gave me an extremely upset stomach. I won't gross you out with the details, but needless to say, it was kind of overwhelming. And then, of course, if that happens to you, then you're probably getting rid of all your electrolytes, right? So I did drink another half liter of snake juice this afternoon. So far, it's staying where I put it. So we'll see how that goes. So like I said, the plan for now is to ride this out until tomorrow at 1 p.m. and then I will eat. I'm aiming for an 8-hour eating window. My diet that I planned for tomorrow is pretty straightforward. I'm going to do a large green salad for my initial refeed with like just basic vegetables, lettuce, celery, carrots, tomatoes, bean sprouts, broccoli, that kind of stuff. I'm quite looking forward to that. I've been craving it, believe it or not. I'll give myself an hour or two to let that settle, and then I'm just going to do basic bacon and eggs, scrambled eggs. I do eat the butterball turkey bacon. I don't eat normal bacon. Not that I'm all that worried about the fat content or anything like that, because at this point, as I said, I'm only eating once every 4 days, right? So I'm not all that hung up on the caloric content or even the nutritional content of what I'm eating, because I only eat every 4 days. I eat twice a week, so I mean, I'm not gonna worry myself to death. However, having said that, there are a few adjustments I want to make. I've still been eating processed sugar, like desserts and things like that, sparingly, as I said, twice a week, but I'm still doing it. Stuff like a small thing of ice cream, like the Haagen-Dazs ice cream, or at one point I was eating cookies and stuff like that. I'm going to try to phase that out of my diet at this point now. My goal at this point is to ditch the the main thing was I've missed it, sort of totally missed the point there. Maybe I have brain fog. Basically, my issue was that I have an affinity for diet soda. Basically, I was a long time drinker of Diet Coke. I drank a crazy amount of Diet Coke. It wouldn't be unusual for me to drink like 8 cans a day or more. or like a 2-liter bottle or whatever. I cut that out when I started having heart problems because the caffeine would trigger my arrhythmia. But I've been drinking the caffeine-free version, which is basically just a calorie-free cola, but with a lot of aspartame. And there's a variety of reasons I really want to get out of that. I know aspartame spikes your body's insulin levels and makes it harder for you to get into ketosis after you refeed. So that's one thing. And the second issue is that I think it might be upsetting my stomach. As I mentioned in previous videos, I have a real issue with an upset stomach after my refeed, and I think that drinking like even 4 cans of this caffeine-free diet soda on my refeed days, it might be what's upsetting my stomach. So my goals are to try and eliminate that pretty much right off the bat. So tomorrow I will just be drinking carbonated spring water. There will not be, or bottled water. There will not be any soda or pop tomorrow. And then next up is I'm going to try and wean myself off sugar totally. So my goal is by the end of January to be totally off sugar altogether. Not natural sugar, obviously, because I'm still going to get that in certain fruits and vegetables and things like that. But processed sugar, like junk food sugar, I'm going to try and eliminate that from my diet. I should be able to, because like I said, realistically speaking, I'm only eating 2 days a week anyway. So my body, while I do crave it, I think if I get rid of it, that will really help me as well. So that's the plan. To as of this time tomorrow, I will be on a refeed day. I will be. I have my menu planned out. I'm going to try and keep it within 8 hours. And the other thing is that I'm going to start weaning myself off artificial sweeteners and sugars. As far as exercise, like I said, I can increase the amount that I'm walking, but other than that, I was toying with the idea of talking to a personal trainer and looking at the gym, maybe to start that in February or whatever, but now that's off the table because of the pandemic. Everything's locked down again. I guess if I lived in Florida or someplace like that where there were no lockdown restrictions, I'd have a lot more options, but for now, I'm going to just stick with what I'm doing. So the other main issue that's happening to me is that I've kind of something a little bit disturbing has happened. And that is that I have discovered, please excuse me. Sorry. My mouth is getting extremely dry and I did not bring a beverage. Sometimes that snake juice makes my mouth all salty and dry. This is a new brand I'm trying called sparkling water with lime. So I checked the nutritional content. There's nothing in it. It's literally just water and natural lime flavors. So it's not going to break my fast. But speaking of which, here's the major crisis that I'm facing right now. If my test strips are to be believed, even though I am over 80 hours into a fast, I'm not currently in ketosis, which is bizarre. I had read from a variety of people that the best way when you're doing these extended fasts is to get these ketone test strips and use them. So every day when you get up in the morning, after the first 24 hours, the thought is that you fast, and after you've eaten, by 24 to 36 hours afterwards, your body has depleted its glycogen store in the liver from all the stuff that you ate, and then you can start burning eating your own fat and go into ketosis. And they said the best way to check that would be to get these ketone strips. So I did. I was kind of inconsistent using them because I just knew that I was in ketosis. There wasn't really any doubt in my mind at that point. Since Christmas, I've felt a little bit different. My cravings are higher, which is usually a sign, I guess, that you're not in ketosis. And I'm sleeping much, much, much better, which is great, except for the fact that I know that your cortisol levels go up when you're fasting. So I'm curious if I was curious, am I in ketosis or not? So starting the second day of this 4.5 day fast that I'm on, I tested my ketone levels, and I did it the second day, the third day, and I did it this morning as well. And was shocked to find that if these strips are to be believed, I'm not in ketosis. So obviously that upset me and that worried me. I was very, that bothered me because my understanding of this whole process is that in order for this to work, I have to be in ketosis to burn fat. So the question, there's two questions, is am I really not in ketosis, and if I'm not, why am I not? Certainly I'm now literally like 90 hours into a fast, so it's not like my body can be consuming anything other than my own body fat, because all I have had to consume in the last 4 days is just spring water and snake juice. That's it. And the first 24, I practically did a dry fast. Like, I think I took one sip of water at one point in the day, but for the majority of the first the first day of the fast, I didn't consume anything, which I always thought was good to help bump you into ketosis. And then, the second and third day, I drank water, but I also drank my snake juice. But regardless of that, I'm still, according to these strips, not in ketosis. So the only thing I can think of is there are three possible options. Number one, I am not in ketosis because I do take medication. As I mentioned in previous videos, I have a heart condition. I have a chronic recurring arrhythmia, and that requires that I take a medication called propafenone twice a day, every 12 hours. The purpose of that medication is to keep my heart from going back into an arrhythmia, to give me a steady heartbeat. I know Cole Robinson, the creator of the snake diet, says that you should go off all your medications and stuff like that, but I have a serious heart condition, and I'm just not going to do that, because I'm not going to, as much as I respect some of the things that Cole has figured out and his different coaching methods and stuff, I think that that's still a big ask for me not to take my medication. That's not something I'm willing to consider at this point. Number two, I also take a blood thinner, a pretty heavy duty blood thinner called Lixiana. So every morning I got to take 2 tablets. I take the propafenone and the Lixiana, and then before I go to bed I take the propafenone. I have also been taking a prescription strength anti-inflammatory pill for my arthritis and my sciatica. As I've lost more weight over the last month or two, I've radically reduced the amount of that I'm taking, and actually today, as of January 5th, and it's now 4:30 p.m. roughly, I have not taken any painkillers today at all, which is, I don't even remember the last time that happened. I have mild discomfort from my arthritis, but nothing nowhere near as bad as it was, which is kind of a weird thing then, because I was led to believe that one of the reasons that my arthritis and my inflammation was getting better was because of the fasting, because of the autophagy effect. However, if I'm not in ketosis, then that means I'm probably not getting the benefits of autophagy, and I can't help but wonder, is that there are a lot of people that think taking medication will kick you out of ketosis, or prevent you going into ketosis, because a lot of these pills have sugar in them. But the bottom line is, I can cut back on the painkillers, because those are not vital, but I need the blood thinner to make sure I don't have a stroke or a heart attack because of my arrhythmias, and I need the antiarrhythmic meds to keep me from going into arrhythmia, and these are not things that I'm willing to compromise. So that's my first possibility, that's why I'm not in ketosis. The second possibility is that my body's just fighting back. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I've noticed I could literally do like a half-hour video just listing all the changes I've noticed in my body over the past 2 months, being on these extended fasts. I have had like sleep pattern changes. I've had changes in my skin, my complexion, positive ones. Like my sleep pattern originally was disrupted very badly, but now it's great. I've had horrible indigestion problems. I've had all sorts of other stomach issues. I've had, like I said, just to give you a quick example, the obscene finger on my right hand, my middle finger. A few years ago, I was at work, and I got something, it's gross, but I got something jammed under my fingernail, and it actually cut under my fingernail. And it took forever to heal, and when it healed, it developed a huge, thick scab that was so big that it came out past the fingernail. And the problem was that in my normal day-to-day activities, I kept bumping it and reopening the cut, and it would bleed, and then it would heal up, and then it would just never go away. And it developed like a giant callus over it, this cut on my finger. So I was at my doctor for something unrelated, and I just said to him, "Listen, could you take a look at my finger, because I've had this cut for months." And he said, "Yeah, it looks like a wart." And I said, "Yeah, but it's not a wart, because I remember when I got it. Like, I know how it happened, but it just won't heal." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. You can try taking wart medication," and I was over-the-counter wart medication. I was like, "Yeah, but it's not a wart." But I did it anyways because it was bugging me. Nothing changed. I used to complain about it all the time because, like, I'm right-handed, so when I was using my right hand, if I put pressure on it while I was writing or whatever, or just using my hands to do whatever, pick up something, I would bump it and it hurt. It was just a pain in the butt. About 3 weeks after I started fasting, so in about the third week in November, it just vanished. Gone, poof, zip, gone. I've mentioned before that I used to get these tiny but noticeable red bumps on my arms, chest, and back, which I always thought were acne, and I had actually talked to a dermatologist about it. And they had given me this cortisone cream that they wanted me to rub all over myself, which took off a whole layer of skin and left the bumps. I hated it. This stupid rash, I couldn't get rid of it. It's gone. Gone, vanished, whatever. So, like I said, the changes your body goes through when you are doing an extended fast are just, I can't even begin to list them all. But I also know that your body fights back. Your body resists what you're doing to it. And I know that since I've gone 2 months now, well, look, for example, I lost 31 pounds the first month, I lost 22 the second. I know that my body is adapting to try and, my body's basically saying, okay, well, if this is how it works now, then we need to slow down and adjust how we consume, the fuel that you're giving us and stuff like that. So it's possible that this is just a brief thing, and my body will eventually, I will start going into ketosis again. Because since I got those strips, I have gone into ketosis. And I know this because I had all the symptoms first off the bat. When you wake up in the morning, your tongue is coated like disgusting white paste, which is keto. That's what they call keto breath. It causes keto breath. And I had to brush my teeth and scrub the nastiness off my tongue. When I sweated, it's gross, but my sweat smelled like ammonia, which is a sign of being in deep ketosis. Basically, I was using the test strips, and they were turning dark. Not as dark as they could, but dark enough that there were ketones in my urine. So I know I was going into ketosis, but I'm not anymore. So then the third option is that, and I looked into this today, it's possible that I am in ketosis, but I'm just not in ketosis enough for it to show up on the pee strips. And apparently there are different kinds of ketosis, and only one of them shows up in your pee. So the other possibility is that I am in ketosis, but it's just not showing up on the strips. Just for the heck of it, tomorrow before I break my fast, I will measure again. I'll take a look again, but honestly, it doesn't really matter, because like I said, I looked into it today and I read a couple articles, because the whole ketogenic thing has become such a big craze with a lot of people that it's, people panic if they're not in ketosis and stuff like that. And what I've learned, which makes sense, is you don't actually have to be in ketosis to lose weight. It certainly helps, but it doesn't. Your body can consume its own fat without you being in strict ketosis, right? So let's say worst case scenario, that scenario one is true. I'm taking medication and it's stopping me from going into ketosis. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't stop taking my heart medication. And until I get that heart surgery I'm on the waiting list for, I got to take the medication. I'm not going to have a stroke or a heart attack just because it's stopping me from going into ketosis, this meds. And let me tell you something. Today they announced again that they're stopping all what they classify as non-emergency surgeries, including cancer surgeries for some people. So I won't be getting that surgery anytime soon. They're saying that every day that the waiting list is frozen adds another like 1,000 people to the waiting list in our province of people that need surgeries that can't get them. So it's already been 3 years that I've been on the list, and it could be, I'll die of old age probably before I get that damn surgery. So I'm gonna have to stay on the meds. That's all there is to it. There's no, unless the doctor takes me off, in which case that's fine, right? But even then, like when I miss a dose of these meds, because once in a blue moon I'll forget to take a pill, and then hours later I know it because I start to get palpitations and stuff. So highly unlikely I'm going to miss those meds, right? So that's not an option, right? So then the other thing is, okay, well, you know, I am in ketosis and I just don't know it. Well, that's fine, because the bottom line is this: no matter how you slice it, I'm gonna lose weight if I only eat twice a week. Like that's just the way it is. When you weigh as much as I do, which is 350 pounds, and you don't eat except for twice a week, you're gonna lose weight. Caloric restriction. If let's say I never go into ketosis again, and I'm just doing these extended fasts, and all I'm doing is losing weight through caloric restriction, okay, I can live with that. I'd rather be in ketosis just because it's a nice indicator. But like I said, I have other indicators that I am. Like I woke up this morning and my tongue was white again. And I know it's not just something with me, because after my refeed, the first day after my refeed and the day of my refeed, my tongue doesn't do that when I go to sleep. So that's generally my first sign that I'm in ketosis, is when I wake up in the morning, my mouth gets all coated and stuff. I think like I've seen it on the internet referred to as keto tongue, right? So I mean, I think I probably am in ketosis. I'm just either not in deep enough ketosis for it to show up on the strips, or the ketosis that I'm in just doesn't show up on those strips, or whatever. I'll keep testing myself, but I'm not gonna. And this is a major change, because this is the kind of thing a few years ago, or when I was doing this before, I would have freaked out and got upset and quit. I'm not happy about it, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna, you know, I've toyed around, like I said, with the idea of weighing myself in the middle of the month just to see how much progress I've made. But I mean, I'm aiming, like I said, my goal for January is, I say the phrase, like I said, a lot, and I say a lot, I've noticed, but sorry, what can I tell you? I'm going, as I said, again. I'm going to aim for 15 pounds for the month of January. That's my goal, right? So that's not, I don't think that's a hugely unrealistic goal. If I lose 15 pounds in January, then that will put me at 335 pounds by February 1st, which will be huge, because that's like this close to my lowest weight that I've been in years. So that would be a major victory for me. So, and I think even if I'm not going into ketosis, and you just look at these fasts as nothing more than caloric restriction, like what they call calories in, calories out, and forget the ketosis and all that other stuff, that's still a huge win, right? And I think even just doing calories in, calories out, I can still make 15 pounds over the month of January. So I'm gonna do that and see how that goes. As I said, it's tempting to weigh myself and see, but I don't want to do that, and we'll discuss that in another video at some other time. But basically, just the update is that I'm this close to finishing my latest 4.5 day fast. After that's over, I'll be going into my routine of rotating 88s. Number one. Number two, making some changes to my eating window and my eating habits, and possibly exercise habits. Number three, I'm having some trouble with ketosis. Oh yes, and there was the adventure with the snake juice, which was unfortunate. But that's all part of the process, right? And I'm learning to enjoy the process and trust the process. And it's the journey, not the destination, right? I got my health. I feel really good right now. I haven't felt as good as I feel right now I don't even remember, before I started this process. Like if you compare how I felt on, let's say, October the 6th to January the 6th, it's like, I'm like a whole different person. And that's 90 days. I've literally changed my health and my feelings in 90 days. So nothing to worry about, nothing to be panicked about, only positive thoughts. So that's it for now. I will be back at some point, not sure when. Like I said, I want to do a little video about the scale and weighing in and the controversy about that and what my feelings are on that, but that could be any time. Once again, I babbled for half an hour. Wanted to say real quick, I noticed I actually picked up a couple subscribers to the channel, and I know the views have gone up. I think I've mentioned my channel on Reddit a few times, so If there is actually somebody watching this, thank you very much. Please feel free to leave a comment or send me a message. Thank you for watching if you are watching. As I've said before, I'm not really doing this for attention or for publicity or anything like that. It's more of like almost a video diary to chronicle my journey and share my thoughts on what I'm doing here. It's possible when this is all over and done with, I may not even leave these videos up. I don't know, but for now, it's helping me, so I'm gonna do it. All right, everybody have a great day, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.